All right, so now let's get back to class. Sorry guys, I'm sorry about all of that delay. So let's just get in. Who is a competitor? Who is a competitor? Yes, somebody. Let's speak. Who is a competitor? Mr. Marvel, are you speaking? If you are, I couldn't hear you.
I wanted to raise my hand first before speaking.
Go ahead. You're already speaking.
Yeah. Okay. A competitor, if I should say it in a layman's language, is somebody who is directly dragging your market share with you, either directly or indirectly.
Somebody who is dragging your market share with you directly or indirectly. Okay, I see Staimeda's response in the chat. Email that your message is a private message. It's not to everybody. Someone who does the same thing as you in business, it could be direct or indirect. Exactly. Yeah, so we all have an idea. So when we say somebody is a competitor, we are simply just saying that a competitor is a business that is rivaling you and offering the same products, goods, or services that you are offering to the same market, to the same audience, right? In order to do what? Drag a market share with you. So if you remember in class, when you guys were presenting, BHL kept talking about, when you guys were looking at your TAM, SAM, and SUM, right? You were talking about market share. Market share, what's the market share? What market share are you looking at? What's the percentage of market share are you trying to get, right? So your competitor is that person or is that business, right, that rivals you. You know what it means to be a rival. That's when you say somebody is your rival, the person is your competitor, not be your, if you like, want to call him your enemy, but it's someone who is offering the same goods, the same products, the same service that you are offering to the same target audience, to the same market, in order to, drag market share with you. Now, if you even see Staimeda's response on the chat, and even Brother Marvel, you hear them say directly or indirectly, right? That means that we could have different kinds of competitor. So who is a direct competitor? I don't want to ask you what are the types of competitor, because come on, you already have some of them listed there, direct and indirect. So yes, who is a direct competitor? Aya, let's go. Oh, somebody's hand is up. Please unmute and speak.
Okay, ma, thank you, ma. A direct competitor is somebody who is in the same market with you, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi now. They are direct competitors to each other, offering the same service, the same product to the same market.
Okay. So that's for a direct competitor. So who is an indirect competitor? Who is an indirect competitor? Let's go, guys, quickly.
Okay. And an indirect competitor, if I should use the example the speaker of just now used, is let's say water is not the same product with Coca-Cola and the rest, but they are along the same I don't know if to say value chain. They are competing indirectly because more like a substitute, even though that's not the accurate word to use there.
Good. So you're close to it, so you have an idea. So a direct competitor is the one that's offering exactly the same goods, the same services, solving just the same problem like you, right? But then an indirect competitor, just like you have said, Mr. Emoisi, let me just try and put words to it, is a business that is not necessarily offering the same products, right? But they're offering a service or a product that can satisfy the same need of the customer. Just like you said, water and Coke. In fact, water and Coke, you probably want to even consider pizza and burger. Do you understand? Right? Um, Coca-Cola, So yes, so water and then Coca-Cola and Coke or water, and so when it comes to tests, they're answering the same problem, right? So they are not exactly the same products, but they are satisfying the same need of the customer. That is what your indirect that's your indirect competitor, right? So they're answering or they're solving the same fundamental problem, right? And then you have the third one. Favor, your hand was up. Okay. So you have the third one, replacement competitor. Replacement, just like the word entails, right? They are offering an alternative. These are competitors that offer an alternative of your goods and service to the market. They are not offering the same, but they're offering an alternative. That means Coke or Pepsi. Abi? Do you understand? Are we following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I said a replacement competitor, right? Is let's take it from the start. Your direct competitor is offering what? Exactly the same goods and services. I'll give you an example now. Maybe not necessarily Coca-Cola and Pepsi, but let's use McDonald's and Burger King. Market Square Hallmark. Do you get it?
Yes, please.
These are direct competitors. They are offering the same thing, the same product, the same service. Are we following?
Yeah.
Guys, I need response. I need to move on so that we can.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, that's for a direct competitor. They're offering the same product and service like you are offering to the same market. So if you're in Benin, you know that many a time you're here thinking, oh, I want to buy something. I beg you. See how many of you think, where do you want to get it from? And depends on anyone that's close to me now. If that is Market Square or Hallmark or Ford Max. Or do you understand? Why? Because they are direct competitors. Any of them, except if you now go to Hallmark, they're out of that stock. You will now say, okay, let me go to Market Square. But ordinarily, when you're thinking of where to get that product from, Sometimes you're not necessarily saying I want to go to Hallmark. You're going to be saying Hallmark or Market Square. Oh, okay, Ford Mart is even close to me. Let me just enter Ford Mart. Do you understand? So you see supermarts, fast food, Kada Cinema, Genesis Cinema, direct competitors. Do we get it?
Yes, ma.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
indirect competitors. Thank you, guys. Indirect competitors. They are competitors that are not, they're not offering exactly the same goods or services like you are offering, right? But they it is not exactly, how do I put it now? They are not offering exactly the same goods or products that you are offering, but they are offering a similar goods that solves the same problem, the same fundamental problem. Do you understand? Coca-Cola and water. Fundamental problem, quench taste. You do it many times. I want water, but if water is not around, it's okay, give me Coke. Abby?
Yes, ma.
These are indirect competitors. Blessing, you're still looking like you're not getting it.
I understand, ma.
Okay. So
I
non-verbal
was
communication. That face for me was, I still never get them.
Oh no, ma, it was a noise at the background. It was because of the person's the person that unmuted their mic. It was because of the noise.
All right. So do we understand, guys? I just need to be sure that almost all of us understand the direct and indirect. So just indicate with an emoji. Let me be sure. Let me see those people who follow. Quickly. Okay. So I can move on. Now, the third competitor, the third kind of competitor, I'm saying replacement competitor. Right? A replacement competitor. This kind of competitor offers an alternative to your own product to the customer. They're not doing exactly what you're doing, but they offer an alternative. Why do we call it an alternative? I'll explain to you, because I think that's where that look is coming from. What's not the difference between the replacement competitor and the direct competitor? Which one be alternative? If it's an alternative, it's not because it's the same thing. That's right. So an alternative competitor, right? The reason why we call them alternative is because at this point, they are not necessarily dragging for the same customer like you are. Maybe if I use an example now, we'll buttress the point. Uber or InDrive or both, and public transport. Do we get it?
Yes.
You can't call them direct competitors. You cannot say that they are direct competitors. They are alternative or replacement competitors. Why will you not call them direct competitors? No, they're not necessarily competing for the same audience, the same market. However, if I don't get an Uber and I'm rushing, I will come out and take a public transport. Do you understand it now?
Yes, please.
Yes.
This is why they are replacements. They are not necessarily the first choice, but if I don't get my first choice, I can fall back to them as replacements. Does it, let me see, Imelda, let me quickly, let me read your, does it mean it's serving the same audience? They are not necessarily serving the same audience. Now, if you see the example I just used, they're not serving the same audience. They are solving the same problem. They will be solving the same problem, but it's an alternative to that problem. An alternative solution to another solution. If you look at it carefully, you may want to say this is where Pepsi and Coca-Cola. You get it. Some people may also argue that Pepsi and Coca-Cola are direct competitors. Yes, they are direct competitors, but at the same time, they can also be alternative competitors. Because if I now go to a shop and say I want Coke, you don't have Coke, and I really want a soda, the next thing I'll probably ask you for is, you get Pepsi? Abby? If I want Sprite, you don't have, the next thing I'll ask you is, you get 7-Up? Are you seeing it? So they can be both. That example can, depends on where it is working. They can be both direct competitors, which is what we most likely we say they are first. But if you narrow it down, they can also play as alternative, whereby when I don't get the exact thing I want, I'm looking for something close to it, an alternative that would also solve that same problem for me. So let me quickly respond to the email that says, oh, are they dragging? Does it mean that they are serving the same audience? They are solving the same problem, but they may not be serving the same audience, because the people who naturally would tilt towards wanting to use an Uber, right, will not be the same people who would naturally tilt towards wanting to take public transport. So they most likely are not the same audience, because by the time you begin to look at the criteria for choosing your target audience, you will see that the people who are tilting towards getting an Uber are not the same. By the time you begin to look at the criteria, right? I mean, okay, let me tell you what happened. So I actually did this day before yesterday, right? By the time I finished and I was trying to rush down to the venue because I needed to, I had promised my partner that I was going to get to the training venue before 10 for his own meeting. But then it turns out that I had a delay in what I wanted to do. So by the time I was trying to rush up, my house is just by the road. So if you put your ears to the ground, you'd have heard vehicles passing because I'm training from the house. My house is just by the road. And I mean, it is one bus. Once I come out of my gate, I'm just going to get a bus going straight to Ring Road. No be so. Right? Going to Ring Road. From my house to Ring Road is 300 naira. Now, from my house to Boundary Road Junction, where your training venue is 300 naira. But an Uber from my house to that same venue sometimes is 3.2. So you would see that the replacement competitor is not necessarily dragging for the same audience. The person who would naturally say, I beg, now public transport I won't use, would have seen that 3.2 to have been their transport for like 1 week safe, to and fro. That I can readily say, okay, I want to use on transportation once. So we're not the same target audience. But then, when push came to shove, and that the only boat that was around me was doing like 10 minutes, the app showed me 5 minutes. But I don't dey wait. The guy, they told me I'm doing this, I'm doing, like, he was just turning around. What did I do? I had to walk out of my house, took a bus to Boundary Junction first. That was a replacement for me. But I'm not necessarily their target audience. Do you understand?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, my daughter is stressing me. Do we get it?
Yes, please.
Email
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Are we on point now? Do we understand it?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Thank you, ma'am.
Beautiful. And then, of course, the last one you want to consider is the potential competitor. They are not in business yet, but the odds are high that people will come into business and do the same thing that you're doing, offer the same products, the same service, make it better. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we understand the competitors, whatever now?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I
Can I
go?
ask a question?
Okay, ask if there's a question at this point.
Okay. What I wanted to ask is using the InDrive and the boat you use as an example, it suggests that replacement competitors slash direct competitors can coexist depending on which and which at that point in time.
Yes. Yes. So that's what it's looking like now. So it will be a replacement at the point when naturally you are not my first option. I just have to fall back to you because my very first option is not available. So at that point, direct competitors will become replacement competitors. Let me see. BHL, do we get it?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Do you want to
Yeah,
contribute to this so I can just go ahead?
no, just keep going. Just keep going. You're doing well. Thank you.
All right. Guys, do we understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you
Yes, ma'am.
are we sure? Yes, ma, yes, ma.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, someone like me now that is running a fashion brand, what came to mind initially when you talk about the indirect competitor? I
Someone
just
like you that's
assume
doing
that the
what?
indirect competitors will be running a fashion brand.
Okay.
So I just assumed when you talk about the indirect competitor, I assumed that the indirect competitors would be maybe boutiques and the rest. That is, they are satisfying the same need, kind of, to busy professionals. But then when you talk about replacement competitor, so I'm now like, okay, I'm trying to find out who exactly to fit in as replacement competitor for my business.
My
That
job is not to find that out for you. My job is to explain the concept for you to go and think about
yes,
it.
ma'am.
That's the work
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
to do. So I'm not going to absorb you of that work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm. What I need you to understand is the concept, definition, if you want to call it definition, the understanding and all what have you. You have to put in the work and now decide at what point does a boutique person become your replacement or your direct competitor. You are the one to decide where you think you want to place them. And of course, with metrics backing you up or with criteria backing you up and knowing what is what. Now, why am I taking my time to explain all of these kinds of competitor? It is because, just like the question that I think that was Faith Star that was speaking just now, Abby. Right? So just to be, because I need you to understand, so that when you're doing your competitors analysis, you are thinking round. You are knowing exactly who is your competitor, and you're knowing what to put in place for a competitor. Because most times what you know is your potential competitor. Some of you don't even think about your potential competitor. You're just looking for the people that are in the market. Now you forget that whatever novel thing you're bringing to the market, somebody will take it and modify it and make it better. And can make it better. Abby, when people were shouting AI, 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 the only thing that was coming to your mind was what? ChatGPT. No be so. And it looked like the, you know. But now, can you count how many open source AI you have? You can't count. In fact, you may even want to say, oh, they are doing different things, but I'm talking about the ones that are doing open source, just like AI. There's what's this one that I sometimes use? I don't want to forget. Now there's Meta, there's Grok there. It's not even Meta or Grok. There's this, there's is it Gemini? It's not Gemini.
Gemini.
Yeah, Gemini, but there's a particular one I used one time. It was not even Gemini. The same thing.
Copilot.
Just
DeepSeek.
So all these names you're calling. So you can see that something will be wrong if Sam Altman did not think about these strategies, this mitigation, or did not consider his potential competitors, and just say, "I now let me now AI." Whatever you're doing, always know, because the greatest room in the world that never gets filled up is that of improvements. So people will always take it. So as you're thinking, doing your competitors analysis, you have to think. Many of you, this is the first time you're thinking round in your business. This class is the first time. Many of you have never sat down to think wide like this as regards your business. True or false? Thumbs up if it's true, thumbs down if it's a lie. Yeah. That your thumbs up, Messi, in fact. Right? So that's what the business plan is supposed to do for you. It's supposed to allow you think round, and it's important that you understand the different components. That's why we're taking our time to break down these components for you, so that as you are doing your analysis, as you're writing, you're able to think broad. So you will now see, when I said from the beginning that it's fun, but it's going to be work. So you see, before you sit down, you have like 5 hours, a whole day safe, to think about who be my competitor and where do they fall into. Are they direct? Are they indirect? Is it replacement? In fact, potential, I can't even tell because they never come, but I know say that they come. Do we get it? So let me quickly see if you are with your destiny, if you can quickly reach your what's it called now? The template we sent to you. Let's quickly see what we are looking out for our competitors. Let me look for the templates, and let me look for the templates. Let's look for the templates and quickly see what the template is asking from us. Are we ready? All right. So
yes,
I
ma'am.
found it. Now, the template says to you, for your competition, you're looking, state your major competitors, direct and indirect. Of course, now you know that you have replacement and potential, right? Describe their product and service. So when we're talking about your competitor, you are going to have to describe their product and service, because it is in that description that you can now tell which of them they are to you. If you don't understand if you not take your time to study and understand your competitors' market, your competitors' product or service, you most likely may not be well positioned to be able to rival them. Are we together? Do we get it? State their competitive advantage and disadvantage. That means that now they assume, say, Gemini or Meta AI and ChatGPT, they are both open source. If people who are really tech inclined, by the time they begin to look at it, they will tell you that this one has this, that this one does not have. This one does not have. Do you understand? So what are they doing at that point? You're looking for their competitive advantages and disadvantages. Your competitor now, they are the ones you are still studying, right? Now you're looking at what is the customer segment they are focusing on? What's the customer segment they are focusing on? That's always an advantage. So you want to find out and for your competitors. What is the possibility of new entrants? This is where you're talking about potential competitors. People that have not started though, but they can enter. What's the potential? You know that there are some industry that it's very easy for people to come in. Some industry, for people to come in, it's a bit rigid. So for those kind of industry that it's a bit rigid for people to come in, possibility of new entrants may not be as high as it is for those ones that it's very easy for people to come in. Do we understand? Guys, do we
Yes,
get it?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Then state the potential new competitor or market entrant. State if the barrier they must overcome to enter the market is high or low. I already talked about that. State if the cost is high or low. All of these things are what you're looking out for when you're trying to talk about the possibility of new entrants, which are your potential competitors. Right? State how you can make or achieve customer loyalty. Now, after you have finished talking about your competitors, you are now going to have to tell us what makes you different. What makes you think that you can rival these people? What are you bringing? What makes your product? What makes your service? What makes your goods stand out, even from the person who is your direct competitor or your indirect competitor? What is your advantage? And that's why we usually ask people, what is your unique selling point? Why should I leave the person I've been purchasing from to come and start to buy from you because you just came to the market? Why? Why no? Again, Hallmark and Market Square. You're selling Unilever products, you're selling Unilever products. You're selling multi-pro products, they're selling multi-pro products. There's whatever you're selling, they are selling. So why should I now leave my Hallmark and come to you? That's the reason why you see that when you want to buy something, again, back to the example I used before, you're not necessarily saying I want to go to Hallmark, except there's a particular thing that you feel like, okay, I've seen this thing in Hallmark, I just want to go there and go and pick it up. Naturally, you will say Hallmark or Market Square. The only time that most times you'll be that specific is even when it comes to their food, their flour products. That's the only time you most likely hear me say, for instance, oh, I want burger bread, I want to make burger. Hallmark burger bread. You see it now? Otherwise, if it's any other thing that's taking me there, I'm going to say Hallmark or Market Square, anyone when any part. Why? Because they buy like the same thing. But again, if you look closely, they both have you see these two people I'm talking about, they've both studied themselves. This one knows the other one's competitive advantage and disadvantage and know what to take advantage of. That makes some people forever loyal to Hallmark. That makes some clients forever loyal to Market Square. And then the baba of them all, ShopRite. You see it? So that is that for that on competitors or competition or competitors analysis. Any question, contribution? No questions. Can I move on to SWOT analysis now?
Sorry, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, Imelda, you.
Okay, sorry. I had spoken before I remembered I was supposed to raise my hand. Sorry, I want to be sure. Does it mean that in this segment I will list the names of these organizations or these competitors? I will list them and explain how their competitive advantage and disadvantage or something.
Yes, but there is a template for it. I'll look for it, or BHL will look for it. I probably will try and look for a template. There's a template for competitors analysis. So you're not going to go around and start listing all of them. You're looking for your top 3 or your top 4 that you want to use for analysis.
Okay. Okay, that works.
So it's not like you're going to
you.
start to go around and list all of them. Where you want to put them? So you're looking for top 2 or top 3 that you're going to be doing your analysis with. There's a template for it. We'll look for it and put it on the group for you today. Yes, you'll get that today. Or you can just simply go online and type competitors analysis tools. They'll pop up, different ones will pop up. But I'm just going to look for, the reason I'll do it is because I want all of you to use a particular one so that we're having similarity across board. That's the only reason I'll go and look for one and post it so that you know that that's the one to use. Otherwise, I've just told you to go online, type competitors analysis tool. It will pop up. Or several of them will pop up. So that being said, let's move on to SWOT analysis. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
What is SWOT analysis? I mean, the term SWOT is not strange to us. So what is SWOT? SWOT. Yes. Who's speaking? Somebody.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
It's strength, weakness, opportunities, and then threats.
Good. So you've just succeeded in telling us what the acronym stands for. But in itself, the SWOT analysis, that's SWOT analysis done. What is it? Just what I'm looking for is the way I had to tell you about the business plan. The business plan is, and that's that concept. But yes, thank you. You've just given us the meaning of the acronym SWOT. If I start to record to cloud now, what happened? Everything I've been saying since we lost it, Abby. Like it will be in the computer, and then from where I start recording to cloud, that's the only part that will be on cloud. Not be so.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Favor.
It can be uploaded. The one on the computer can be uploaded on cloud.
And can be uploaded, but it's going to be uploading as 2 different documents now.
I think from when you started speaking, the team was recording. I heard recording in progress.
It was recording
I
to
don't know
my
who was recording.
computer. It was recording to my computer. Now I just got feedback from the person who posted that I cannot record to cloud. I'm saying if I pause recording to my computer now and start to record to cloud, we're going to have 2 different documents. Not be so. Abby?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me just continue recording to my computer and hope that we can upload afterwards. Don't tell me anything about the recording again. I've started recording. Mr. If it's Ekyoya, is it about the recording you want to talk about?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think the recording stopped like 2 minutes ago
Because I
because
paused
he
it.
said, okay, pause. Okay. Then I started recording. I think I should stop my own now. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. SWOT analysis speaks of the strengths, the weakness, the opportunity, and the last one, the threat. Yeah, it speaks of majority of the times what the business itself most likely is going to face, like what is the strength of the business, and what possibly could be the weakness, so that you can work on the weakness to become your strength. Yeah, the opportunities that could come as a result of you doing that business. So it's more like trying to check the whole process of the business and look for how to be better positioned against the things that could be the disadvantage of the business.
All right. So thank you very much. Yeah. So let me read what's in the chats. SWOT analysis helps businesses assess internal strength and weakness and external opportunity and threat to guide. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Mr. Imelda. Emanuela, it helps us to see what's working, what's not, and also where we can grow our business. Exactly. Thank you, guys. So we all have an idea of what the SWOT analysis is. However, I just needed you to know that it is a tool. So the SWOT analysis is a tool. It's not only in the business plan that you get to use the SWOT analysis. It's a tool on its own that you can always use, whether in a business plan, for you myself as an individual. So the SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool that shows you the internal weakness or strength of an organization, of a business, of an individual, as well as the external strengths and weaknesses available to the business or to the individual. Are we together? Right? So just like Emanuela says, that it helps you to know what's working. So what that does for you is that it brings you face to face with the current situation of your business. And as a result, just like every other tool that you use, it's ultimately going to guide your decision making. Are we together? Hey, Kyoya, you're not recording.
Ma, you said you were recording now, so I stopped recording. That was what I said. I was trying to record before and
Can you just
didn't let me
continue
record.
recording? Did I not know you were recording before I started recording?
Okay, ma, I'm recording now, sorry.
But guys, do we get it?
Yes, ma'am.
So can I continue? Can I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
So
ma'am.
having understood that the SWOT analysis is a strategic tool, or is a tool that helps you, to strategically evaluate your business, understanding the internal and external strengths and weaknesses in the business, or opportunities that is open to the business. Primarily, I'm sure you all know how that tool look like. SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. I've been using a word, internal and external, right? Now, S and W. Yes, S and W, strength and weakness. They are what? Internal. Threats and opportunities are external. Now, when we say something is internal, of course, you know that when you're asking or looking out for what is the strength of this business, you're looking for what that business has. What is the USP? What that business is offering that others are not. That makes it stand out. You know? And if you remember yesterday, when we were talking about your operations plan, we did mention some things that are tangible and intangible. It's very possible for the strength of a business to even be in its mercenaries. It's very possible for the strength of a business to be in its skills, the certifications that it has. It's very possible for the strength of a business to be in its team. So do we get it? So some of these things, so when we are looking for the strength of a business, these are some of the things that could make up for your strengths. We are simply asking, what are those things that the business have that can be an advantage to it? Internally, what are the things that the business has internally that can be an advantage to the business? Then, when we're talking about the weakness of the business, we're looking for those things that the business does not have currently, that of course, if the business has, it would have been an advantage to the business. There are weaknesses for the business, but it is also within the business to be able to strengthen it. That means that the solution to that weakness is also within the business. So when a business realizes that, oh, our skill, one of our weaknesses is that we do not have competent hands, that's an internal issue. What do you have to do? Go and get competent hands. Abi? Do we understand? So when we say it is internal, it means that it is within the business to be able to sort it out. If the business says, oh, there are certain certifications that we don't have, what are we supposed to do? Okay, madam, put money together, go and get it. Do you understand? All this nodding of head, do we understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Yeah, you people pull leg. It's boo-boo that I'm wearing. What enter inside this boo-boo just now? But we get it. This is not one of those cases of if you don't get it, forget about it. You can't forget about it, or you must get it. So you have gotten it, Abi. Right? So by the time we now move on to the opportunities and threats, opportunities and threats are just exactly the same as strengths and weaknesses, only that this time they are external. They're outside of the business. The business is not in control of them. That's why they are external. The business cannot control it. The business cannot determine it. Are we following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me do
ma'am.
like my father now. I want to give all of you 1 minute to write. Maybe you want to write. When you finish writing, answer me.
Yes, ma'am. We're with you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can somebody
Yes, ma'am.
explain to me what you understood by what I just said about the opportunity and threats?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. You said the opportunities and strengths and threats of a business is just the same as the strengths and weaknesses of the business, but this time around is an external factor that the business cannot control.
Okay. So, yeah, you just repeated what I said. I said, what do you understand by that? So break it down. Explain it.
Okay, it's just like government policies. There are some government policies that might be threat to the business, and the business does not have control over it. And also for opportunities, maybe the like grants coming in from outside. The business also does not have control over the grants, but it's an opportunity that the business can launch onto.
Exactly. Okay, so I'll just give some example as Slimelda is asking. Let me use some examples now. So when I say opportunities are just also the same thing as strengths, right? They are the strengths of the business, but this time it is not within the business to control it. It is external. That's why it's an opportunity. It's something that the business is taking advantage of because it is there. Let's use an example. A person who is into barbing. You have a barbing salon. You use electricity, right? Then somehow when you were searching for a shop, you happen to have gotten a shop in an area where they have 24 hours electricity. It's an opportunity to the business. It is not the business owner that made that happen. No, it is that the business owner happened to have been privileged to have found that kind of area. There's nothing he or she did about it. There is nothing that the business contributed to that. Rather, it was just an opportunity for the business to chance on. Which means that the barber is not thinking about lights. He's not thinking about buying fuel. The laundryman is not thinking that at any time there will not be light to wash clothes because he's in a place that has 24 hours light or that has 21-hour light or that has good light. He or she did nothing about it. The business did nothing about it. The business just chanced on that opportunity. Imelda, do you understand?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Now for threats, it's the same thing. It's also an external factor that the business has nothing, it's not in control. The business is not in control of it. I'll give you an example too. Let's use policies, for instance, right? And let's take the Dangote refinery. Are you aware that, okay, so yes, so let's use policy both for opportunity and for trade. I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I saw somewhere that the president just signed a 15% is the import duty tax or whatever they call it on exportation of goods. That means that if you're bringing in any goods, there's a 15% tax increment on it. Of course, what that means is that policy is actually saying, okay, we are no, what it's not on export. It was specific on importation of petroleum.
Petroleum, yes.
On the importation of petroleum. So there was a 15%, is it duty tax or whatever it is called? That policy, right? It's an opportunity for Dangote refinery. I will not even be shocked. BHL, are you here? Where's my partner? Okay, so I wanted to say something that I needed him to contribute to. I will not be shocked that is as a result of that policy, right? Even though it is just, I'm sure that policy was signed maybe some last week or thereabout. I will not be shocked that it is as a result of that policy that Dangote is saying he wants to expand his refinery twice what it is before. It's an opportunity to the business. Do you understand? Because by virtue of that, what it means is that, for instance, NNPC and co that have been following him to fight. Oh yeah, keep importing fuel now. Let's say you want to drag market with a person who is producing internally, and you that want to import, and by importation there's already an extra 15% on it. Drag market with him. Are you seeing what's happening? Let's flip that policy. Let's flip it. So imagine that policy was now for every petroleum, whatever, that's produced in the country, they're paying an extra 20%. What is that? A threat to that business. Do you understand now? Are we seeing it now from both ends? So anytime you're thinking about opportunities and threats, you should think about that within the framework of what we call PESTLE, or what you call PESTLE. PESTLE. So anytime you're considering the opportunity and threat for your business, there is also a framework that you can use. It's called PESTLE, whatever, PESTLE. So it's the PESTLE analysis. Right? It just means, let me go and find the full meaning. It means what? The P stands for political. The E stands for economic. The S stands for sociological. C stands for technological. L for legal. And E for environmental. Did we get that?
Sorry,
No,
PESTLE. Can somebody put in the chat for me? Correct it, please. And delete this one so that people don't. Yes, PESTLE. Thank you. And I said the P stands for political. Who is writing? Put in the chat. P, political. E, economical. S, sociological. C for technological. L for legal. And E for environmental. Beautiful. Thank you very much. That's the PESTLE analysis. Thank you, BHL. So every time you're thinking about your opportunity and threats, bring this framework to be. Do we get it? I just gave you an example of political policy being either an opportunity or a threat to a business. Economically, it can also be. Economic situation can also come up in such a way that it becomes an opportunity or a threat to the business. I don't know if I can readily think about any economical one, but we've been through a lot recently economically that either helped certain businesses or wrecked certain businesses. When COVID happened, you may want to call it environmental, you may want to call it economical, you may want to as well call it even sociological. right? Mercy, your hand is up.
Okay, ma, for the economical, I feel some stores that they've already stock their business, and when there is inflation, it will affect them, because for them to be able to sell that, they will have to they've already probably they stock with a high price, and the economy went down, and they are supposed to now sell with low price, so it will affect their business.
Exactly. Thank you. That's an example of economical disruption that can either be an opportunity or a threat to the business. Sociologically, the same thing. So imagine people during the COVID era who bought things that um um places like fast food, cinemas, playhouses. When COVID happened, they knew they were in trouble. Do you understand? Technologically, that's where we are now. Most businesses, AI is using them to shine. But you see that even in the era of technological, once anything that's technological, right, there's always a reverse. So while people are thinking that, oh, AI technology is doing us bad thing, no, you just need to upgrade and meet it where it is and realize that it's also an opportunity if you know what to do with it. Um, there's another group of people that I actually do business training for. I mentioned it to you guys. Some of them are here. So I mentioned it to you guys sometime. I was telling you guys about the IBM issue, right? When IBM decided to lay off about 80,000 staff because they automated their roles. That's technology. But again, the flip side of it was that the same IBM realized that it had to employ over 80,000 persons to do what? Have the human interaction part of that which they automated. Technology, AI is not going to do critical thinking for you. AI will not make decisions for you. It can guide. It's not going to make decisions for you. Do you understand? So that's why when there are certain courses now that I call them living courses that I'm encouraging people to get into. On Sunday, one of my young babies, the parent was telling me that she wanted to study law, but then they gave her guidance and counseling, and the young girl said she will not take it. I said, she should rush it. Because we are getting to an era where we are looking for those people now. Because people are going to so get inclined in technology that they will pay heavily for human interaction. And who will you get it from? Counselors, therapists, people who are in courses that requires human interaction right now. So each of this model can be both an opportunity or a threat. But however, just have that framework to guide you in your SWOT analysis. Now, when you do this, you will soon realize that even for your competitors, you are meant to carry out a SWOT analysis for them. When you carry out the SWOT analysis, what happens? The weakness of your competitor becomes your own strength if you want to be a competitor to them. So in the business analysis, when you find out something that is a weakness to a competitor of yours, you build on that thing to become your own strength. Are we together? Of course, the opportunity and threats, like we have said, they are not within your hands. But when you're playing in the big markets, you will soon realize that the powers that be can actually influence the opportunity or threats. They just need somebody that knows somebody to tell somebody to make some kind of decisions, to make some kind of policies, and that's the end. Are we together? Do we get it?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we come back, it's just that this is recorded. There are some things that we will not talk. I will pause it now to say some kind of. But do we understand? So that is that for competitors analysis and SWOT analysis. Again, let's go to our own template. Let's see what is required of us for the SWOT analysis. It's just simple. State your areas of strength, state your weakness, state the opportunity, state the threat, then state how you enhance your strength and use it for your competitive advantage. State how you can reduce your weakness, state how you can exploit the opportunities available to you, and state how you can mitigate the threats, right? For example, those threats, there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it is put preventive measures in place or mitigation strategies in place. Like the example that Messi gave now with regards to the economy. There's nothing you can do about it. The worst you can do is to do what? Mitigate it. Right? You have two options. Sometimes one of the ways to go around it if you are faced with that kind of situation is you either get money, but you can only do that if you have monitored the market over time, that you have been able to make use of data. Sometimes what you want to do is get money, get those same goods or get goods that is being sold for that amount because of the deflation now that prices has come down. Get goods for the new amount, sell it. The one you have before, right? If you have been able to study the market trend to see that no worry, he will soon go up again, it becomes an advantage to you. Do you understand? You see it. But if you don't have that data, I'm sorry, you will make real loss. So that's what you don't understand when, for instance, you go on the news and then they tell you petroleum just dropped by 15%. And then you're wondering why filling station did not change price immediately. They'll tell you now old stock. But if price goes up, immediately they'll increase price. Why? It is because of this thing. Because there are times where when that price comes down, nobody buys again. So they run at loss. Abi? So when price goes up, it becomes their opportunity to be able to make up for those losses. That's why businesses must learn. Say, opportunity just come, the money just come, and then you spend anyhow and do not have reserve in case of things like this. Are we together? Do we get it? So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, this is where we're going to be calling it a wrap. This is where I'm going to be ending today on the issue of SWOT analysis and competitors analysis. Any question on the SWOT analysis? Do we all understand? Questions, contribution? Exactly, Meda. The dollar and euro, whatever. They buy today. Dollar is 1,400. Suddenly tomorrow, it has come down. It is 1,390. The guy who bought today for 1,400 is already running at a loss. So guys, any question, any contribution, area of clarity, do we all understand? Do we all understand? I need response. So, Imelda,
Yes, ma'am.
your hand is up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate this. But I'd like to ask, well, with the progression of this trainings, yesterday, we worked on operation plan and management plan. Today we are also on competitors and SWOT. Is this the progression